Hello, I'm the Wandering Vegetarian of Minimal Skill, and this is month 2 of Gnome Wars, where Dylan, Tyler and myself each pick a game under £10 to compete to see whose has the best value. This time we have a shooter theme, so I've picked Block and Load, which as of the time of making this video was $6.99 on the Steam store. I've got about 30 hours in it so far, I think. Yeah, about 30 hours. I've sort of been having a lot of fun with it. I haven't had it for very long, but I've really been enjoying it. The game has a few different ways of playing it. So it's got 9 heroes, and each is a bit different. Some of them are offensive characters, some of them are defensive characters, and it's got a unique way of trying to get you to play them all, because you can rank each one up to level 10, and they each contribute to your overall level, and you can get up to level 90 because there's 9 heroes, so you can see how that works. It's a bit different. I like it. It's interesting. Some of them are harder to play than others, and some of them are easier, which brings me to my next point, that when you first start playing the game, it can seem a little daunting, because the current player base is very small. There's not many players playing it, and the ones that are playing it are very good. But that's just because they've been playing the game a long time, and they know all the tricks, all the little bugs, because the game is a little bit buggy. There's a few things you can exploit. So, despite what it seems at first, the learning curve, though, is... I've said that, but the learning curve is not too difficult. It's easy to pick up the tricks. It's just through playing it a long time, just playing it over time. I've not had it long. I've learned quite a bit already. It's a fun game. You do learn a lot. It's just about meeting the right people, which is surprisingly easy, actually, because the community is very friendly on Block and Load. A lot of games it's not, but Block and Load it is. I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's so small, but... yeah, it's just learning. Now, there are a lot of different maps to play on. Some of them, in my opinion, better than others. Others would disagree with me, though. It's very subjective. There's a lot of different types of map. There's the older ones, like the one you're seeing in the background here for this video. This is one of my favourite maps. There's a lot of different cuts, because you've got to earn blocks at the beginning of each game to build things. And if you cut away the foundation of something everywhere, it'll just fall. So if you'll see when this thing goes down in a minute. And you'll notice at the bottom left, that's the amount of blocks I have. That'll go up when this drops. So that's a cut. There's a lot of them on this map, but they've got some newer maps where there's not as many cuts. It's harder to defend. It's just trying to make the game a bit faster paced. I prefer a bit of a longer game. It's more fun. I don't know. You set up your defenses, you dig in. I mean, this match, we have a giant lava trench for the enemy to fall into. I mean, it's something you can't really do on the new maps. So it just depends what kind of game you want. Do you want fast paced, or do you want a longer game, which I think is better, where... I don't know, it might be a bit more difficult to attack, though, because the enemy team's going to have the same opportunity as you are. So, I don't know if you'll be able to see the lava cut in the background of this video, actually. I don't know. Maybe I'll put a clip in at the end. Right, yes, there are a couple of problems with the game. The biggest one, I'd say, apart from the fact there's a few bugs, which, I don't know, that's not really a big issue. There's bugs in every game. But the biggest issue is probably the fact that... There we go. There's my blocks. The biggest issue is probably the fact that there aren't many players. But that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's not a type of reason to turn you off from a game. Again, you can try the demo version for yourself. Yeah, there's not many players, so there's not really a possibility of matchmaking, like, at all. Because when I say there's not many players, I don't mean there's a few thousand or even a few hundred. You will see about 20, 25 people maximum in a queue. That's the most I've ever seen, is 25 people in a queue on the UK and NA servers. Apparently there's more in the Oceania servers. I've not tested it because my ping suffers badly enough in the NA servers. So yeah, there's not many players, so matchmaking's an issue. Lack thereof. You're going to end up in games with people who've been playing the game a while and are much better than you. It's going to happen. But like I said before, you can still learn, and the people who are there are very friendly. I think in this match, I'm probably not going to show the ending, but we ended up completely destroying a new team. It was a team of players who hadn't really played much before. We utterly destroyed them. but we just pulled back. We pulled back, gave them a chance to attack, just for the sake of fairness. You're going to meet a lot of teams like that who are they're just going to sit back for a while, and because they want an actual match. They don't want to just end it in 5 minutes. That's not what anybody wants. So the only players that are really going to try and fight you and utterly destroy you are other new players. So they're going to be on the same skill level as you. So, I don't know, you'll have a lot of fun either way. You'll learn if you are playing against or with people of a higher rank. So, yeah, there's a lot to the game. The different heroes are pretty different. The one I'm playing at the moment is Sarge. He's probably one of the easier ones. But they've all got their own little nuances. They've got their own little things. Yeah, it's I'm not gonna lie, it is a bit of a learning curve, but it's not too steep, like I said as well. Yeah, there are rumours, and well, not rumours. They've pretty much confirmed that the game is going free to play in the near future. But they have said there'll be advantages for the people who have already purchased the game. Now, will that be worth it? I don't know. I think it's worth it. I've purchased the game. I know it's going to go free to play, but I don't know. Maybe the advantages are, because there'll obviously be microtransactions of some kind if it's free. Maybe the advantages are that you just don't ever have to pay for something if you've already paid for the game. That would be pretty cool. It could be anything. But I still think it's worth it, because we don't know exactly when the game's going free to play. At least I don't. Maybe people do by now. But yeah, there's me making a bit of a mistake. I thought I could. Oh no, I do put radar down. Yeah, there's just, I don't know. I think it's a good value game. Maybe the other two will disagree. They both play it. Flobble Tyler has played it since beta. Dylan's not played it much. He's only played a few matches. He's rank 4. But yeah, here we go. Here's the massive lava pit. We're try and make a stairway up over to the enemy's base. But yeah, there it is. We got to destroy their cube. They've got. Oop, I made a bit of a mistake there. Sorry, Callie. We've got to attack their cube. They've got to attack ours. That's just the basic principle of the game. We can damage it a little bit with rocket damage, but it's not much. The idea is you get up there and you start beating it with your digging tool, which is sort of my little shovel you saw me using earlier. Yeah, this is just things like this. Makes it a little bit more difficult for newer players not knowing how to do this. I remember the first time I came up against this, I honestly thought the other team was cheating. But that's another thing about, again, the community being very friendly. The people I'm playing with now are the people, I asked them, what was going on. I thought they were cheating. I said, are you guys cheating? They said, no. Come in a game with us and we'll show you how we did this. So I came into a match with them. They showed me how they did it. And now we play together. It's a good time. So it's not... like I said, it's at first you see these things, you're like, oh my god, we're going to lose, and you will lose a lot in this game, but you can learn. It's just asking the right questions to the right people, and they will help you. It's a very, very friendly community, which is nice. You don't see that very often in games these days. Battlefield communities tends to be pretty friendly, or at least it used to anyway, but most of them, you're not gonna... people don't really care. But in this game, they seem to. In this game, people are happy to play you, to have a good game. They're not interested in... just keeping you where you are. Like a lot of games, like typically Counter-Strike type games, people tend to... or Call of Duty things even, people tend to be obsessed with progression and making sure that they're the best and making sure they know what they... know all they can. In this game, it's more about the community is happier to share things with you that they've learned, and it's just nice. It's nice to go into a lobby and know that almost everybody in there is going to be really friendly, and that you can, if you see someone doing something, you say, "Oh, cool! How do you do that?" I just learned how to run up walls essentially. Yesterday, actually, it's quite simple. You just hold shift, you enable some kind of jump thing in the menu, and you hold jump, and then you place blocks in front of you. You literally just go straight up. There's a guy on the other team doing it. We asked, hey, how are you doing that? He went into a custom game with us. He showed us. So I'd say that is one of the largest selling points of this game, is the great community. along with the gameplay, because the gameplay itself, if you look, it's not like anything else. It's a bit like maybe Ace of Spades. A lot of people compare it to, but I've not really played much of that game, so I'm not going to comment too much. But it's me just I don't know what I'm doing here. Anyway, bearing in mind this was a match against a lot of lower ranked players. We were just playing with them a bit. I could have gone forwards there and started trying to attack their cube, but I just don't. Our Estrella's there with me. We're just trying to break their stuff. We're not really in it to just destroy them. We could have probably already destroyed their first cube by now if we really wanted to. We could have just pushed in or just skybridged all the way over and started dropping bombs on them. So yeah, like I said, it's not about utterly destroying the enemy team. There are some players who are really good. There's one guy, Josh Mesh. He's got impeccable service record at the moment. He hasn't lost any games on his new account. But I'm sidetracking too much. Anyway, that should probably be it. You've seen some gameplay, so you'll see what the game's like to look at. 'Cause that's a big part of the game, and I like the art style. I think it's very good. I'm usually not a fan of cartoony games, but I quite like this one. And it's a little less serious. If you're looking for something for a bit of a break, you can put a lot of hours into this. I've got a friend who's in this game actually, Vengeance. He gets about 200 hours a week in this game, which is I could never put that much into this game or any game for that matter, honestly. Maybe Skyrim, but yeah, it's got a lot of value to this game. They're making it free to play in some point in the future. I mentioned that a little bit already. I should probably elaborate on that a bit. They're adding new heroes, new maps that hopefully will be a bit better than the new ones they've added. I mean, a lot of people like the new ones they've added, but I don't like a lot of them. I like some of them, but I think they were just trying to make the game a bit faster paced by like you see at the top middle there, you see our cube health and then how many cubes we have left to take at the top. The red one is the enemies, the green one is ours. So there's 3 on this map. 3 is pretty good. It makes for a nice long game. 2's alright as well. I prefer 3. A lot of people prefer 2 because it's a nice balance. But most of the newer maps only have 1, so games just tend to be a bit quicker. They're harder to defend on. But again, that means they're easier to attack on. So it swings and roundabouts. But yeah, there's a lot of new things coming to the game. If you want to try it out now, try the demo. If you don't want to wait for it to go free to play, then you can get it already and wait for it to go free to play. Because when it goes free to play, what I'm really hoping for is there'll be very much of a newer player base. They'll be able to implement proper matchmaking, and you won't see. I turned my back on that guy there. I probably shouldn't have done that. He did follow me, so I did kill him, but. He's actually a good player. He was the only one on their team who's an experienced player. He I thought he was someone else because I think they had 2 Sweet Sciences. That's the name of his character. I think they had 2 of him in this game, and I thought it was the other guy, but it was in fact him, the one who was actually good at the game. I shouldn't have turned my back on him. There's a lot of poor plays on my part, like sitting right next to their base and digging underneath a tower. This is probably not the smartest thing to do, but we did it because we were just messing around. It was a fun game overall. The enemy team seemed to have enjoyed themselves. I think they surrendered in the end, but we got down to their last cube. I think they did 1 or 2 hits to our first cube. They didn't really do much damage, and yeah, it was just a good time overall for everybody. Maybe not quite as much them as it was for us. We did win this by quite a bit, but I don't know. I mean, what can you do at that point? I mean, we were definitely a lot better than them, but that was my mistake. I thought that was attached on the other side, but we weren't just gonna let them win because that's not fair on anybody. We don't get a good game, they don't learn, but we can take it a bit more slowly, and just enjoy the game a bit more. We know they're not going to be able to get to our cube, and they're not going to be able to win. We know, but we also know that there's no point in there's no point in just absolutely destroying them. There's no fun in that. You just walk in, you break a new player's cube because they don't know what they're doing. They're just going to put things down in the wrong place. They're not going to set up properly. I mean, they had a Tony. The basic point of the Tony is his defensive role. He puts down turrets. That's his thing. That's all he does. He puts down turrets, and they didn't put down a single turret on their first cube or their second cube. I don't think. He was just running forward and trying to shoot people with his gun, which really isn't powerful enough for that. So yeah, we could have taken it a lot more quickly, but there was no point. Which again, I'm just going on and on about how good the community is here, but I don't know. It's one of my favorite things about the game, so I'm gonna bang on about it quite a bit. I think. I've talked a lot about the game. Maybe I'll talk more about it in our conclusion, but I think that's probably where I should end it. Check back tomorrow for Dylan's video, and then the next day for Tyler's, and then the conclusion after that. I'll probably leave you now with a screenshot of the Steam store page or something, just to show you, it is $6.99. I'll leave links down in the description for this on Steam, G2A, Green Man Gaming, wherever you like to get it from. Alright, thank you for watching. Goodbye.